Good afternoon. Welcome to Military Strategies. We're live. January 3rd, 2026, taking it slow but steady. Here we continue with the celebration, with the festival of capturing the most wanted man in the United States of America. $50 million for Nicolás Maduro Moros. Welcome. If you haven't heard, I'll tell you about it. Nicolás was taken from bed in his pajamas last night. Put on a helicopter from the United States of America and taken to a United States Navy ship. We have the first statement from Donald Trump. We have the details. These are military strategies. Family, your likes, your comments. Once again, family, let's begin. Oh!
Very good morning, family. Very good afternoon. Very good evening. It's not a dream. It's not a nightmare. It's the freedom of Venezuela at the hands of Nicolás Maduro, who has been arrested. Maria Corina Maria Corina has already spoken. She has already started to talk. There is an official statement from Maria Corina Machado. But right now, we are all waiting to see what will happen. What has happened, or what is about to happen. Quickly, before POTUS starts speaking, if we have time, okay? Did you hear this?
Donald Trump in Fox News.
Tell us where Maduro and his wife are right this second.
Please tell us where are Nicolás Maduro and his wife right now?
Well, they'll be heading to New York.
He says they're going to head to New York.
They were indicted in New York as well.
He says they're going to be tried in New York.
So,
Sir, they take it to a ship.
He says, but they've taken them to a ship.
First, then.
he says yes.
They took them to a boat. Al Iwo Jima. Right now, Nicolás Maduro, former dictator of Venezuela, is in the hold of the Iwo Jima, the most precious treasure right now of the United States of America, in the hold of one of the flagship ships of the future of the United States. What a moment right now, Donald Trump commenting on it on Fox News.
They're on a ship. Okay, they'll be heading into New York.
They're on the ship, but they're going to head toward New York, he says. Donald J. Trump.
The helicopters to come out.
The helicopters took them out of there.
And they went a helicopter and a nice flight, I'm sure.
They flew in a helicopter, he says. I'm sure they enjoyed the flight.
Nice flight. They probably loved it.
He says, I'm sure they loved the flight. I love Donald Trump. What can I say?
They've killed a lot of people. Remember that?
He says they've killed many people. Remember? They've killed many. referring to Nicolás Maduro.
They killed many people and even more.
He says many Americans, he says.
Even people in their own country can't.
And people from his own country, something incredible for a president.
Killed a lot of people to maintain power. It's a very...
To maintain power?
Thank you.
He is a despicable being.
Person, can you tell us where Maduro is?
Oh my God, oh my God. Photo. Photo, quick, very quick. I don't know if it's true or not. There, a man appears handcuffed, escorted by some soldiers. I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know. But he's in pajamas, in white pajamas. No, we don't know if it's true or not. No, but there is Nicolás Maduro. It could be. It could not be. Anyway, we're going to see it now. Don't worry. Donald Trump has the festival ready for us in a few minutes for everyone's delight. The patriots and free people of this world. Thank you, family, for the last video. Almost 2 million people watched. For such a small channel, it's such a big step together with other friends, giving special, unique coverage, each one contributing, bringing their talent. What's happening right now? Del may actually be in Russia. Diosdado might try to take power. He's fighting with Vladimir Padrino. The military leadership is loyal to Vladimir Padrino, not to Diosdado, but there is a part that is loyal to Diosdado. The police, the Seven, and the Granco group. Groups. That one is loyal.
From the state of Bolivar to the homeland, land of liberators, of loyal men and women, loyal, always as God wills. From here, the people are spread out across different territories, in different squares, in the neighborhoods, in the communities.
Today, from here, we demand proof of life of our undisputed leader, President Nicolás Maduro, and of our first fighter, Silvia Flores.
A man of work, a man loyal to the Venezuelan homeland, to the tricolor. The homeland is not negotiable. The homeland is defended. Today we call on the people to maintain peace and calm. We remain firm in the defense of the homeland and, of course, our sovereignty.
They're the same ones who ran in humility last night as United States bombs fell. They want to try to hold on to power even though Maduro is not ready, which shows that Maduro was simply a pawn. Inside a soup full of worms.
The territory we defend is love, family, and that's why today we are present in different areas. We are making a call, demanding proof of life for our leader, an undisputed loyal man, the sovereign of this Venezuelan homeland, our constitutional president, Nicolás Maduro.
I have a suggestion for you. If you want proof of life, you can all get on a ship. I'm sure the United States can charter one and take you all to CECOT altogether. Can you spend the rest of your life with Nicolás Maduro and CECOT, all of you, locked up there? Enjoying his company. Look at this.
Come for me. I'll be waiting here. Don't take too long to get to Miraflores, coward.
Well, that's how it was. He took a while, but he arrived. He took a while to get here, but he arrived. He arrived and his moment came, falling the same day Noriega did. Nicolás Maduro Moros does it. We'll have to do a special on everything this dictatorship of Super Mustache has left behind and everything that has happened. Maria Corina Machado has released a statement in which she has been clear. It's a sheet, not a video. We'll put it here so everyone can see. Family, welcome to Military Strategies. We're live now. It's historic. I admit I'm completely broken, but we are living through a very important historic event. A very, very important historic event. Context. Is the effort worth it? Power. Let's see. Statement from Maria Corina Machado. Not from Edmundo Maria Corina Machado. Nicolás Maduro now faces international justice for crimes against Venezuelans and citizens of other nations. Given his refusal to accept a negotiated solution, the United States government has fulfilled its promise to enforce the law. The time has come for popular sovereignty and national sovereignty to rule in our country. We will restore order, free political prisoners, build an exceptional country, and bring our children home. We have fought for years, given everything, and it was worth it. What needed to happen is happening. Now is the moment for citizens who risked everything for democracy. On July 28, we chose Edmundo González Urrutia as the legitimate president of Venezuela, who must immediately assume his constitutional mandate and be recognized as commander-in-chief of the National Armed Forces by all the officers and soldiers who make it up. Today, we are prepared to enforce our mandate and take power. We stay vigilant, active, and organized until the democratic transition, which requires everyone, is achieved. Allow. To the Venezuelans who are inside our country, be ready to put into action what we will soon communicate to you through our official channels. To the Venezuelans who are abroad, we need you mobilized, activating governments and citizens around the world, and already committed to the great operation of building the new Venezuela. In these crucial hours, take my strength, trust, and affection. We stay alert and in touch. Venezuela will be free. We go with God until the end. Maria Corina Machado, January 3rd, 2026. Maybe it would have been missing. A recognition for all the people who are not Venezuelan, but who are also with the cause and are deeply involved in the freedom of Venezuela. But, well, it doesn't matter. It's not the day. It's not the moment. The situation is different, and it's understandable. It's the day of Venezuelans. It's the day of freedom. Look at this. What we're seeing is the explosion of an arsenal of anti-aircraft missiles that they had recently received from a country like Iran or Russia. They were in the La Guaira area, waiting to be processed to be added to the arsenals. The United States has already gotten rid of a problem. Officially, a helicopter from the United States of America has been damaged and there is a soldier who is injured, but not seriously. Apparently, anti-aircraft fire has been used against the helicopters in the operation to capture Nicolás Maduro, who has been captured by the Delta team, by the Delta Force Team 1. An iconic, mysterious team. But they did it. They made it happen. They dealt the final blow to Nicolás Maduro's dictatorship. For weeks, we've been living through endless stories, harassment, and attacks on social media. We've been watching a number
Yeah.
of incredible things. What? That make no sense. None, both from people close to Nicolás Maduro and even his own supporters. Supposedly against Nicolás Maduro. It's been incredible. Ever since we started with this story in military strategies, it hasn't been easy. It seems that the Venezuelan cause was only for Venezuelans, and that someone from outside couldn't come and tell what was happening, what was going on. We have continued doing our work professionally day by day. We were pressured and threatened on El Mazo. We've kept moving forward like me and many colleagues, all together, hand in hand. There are some who have preferred to make enemies. It's their decision. They must have their reasons, and their interests will be clear someday. But we have always wanted to move forward. The truth ahead of what was happening, thanks to you all. Really, look at this. This, possibly a B-21 Raider. Or a Sentinel drone. Landing in Ceiba. I think it's a Sentinel or some kind of drone. with low radar signature landing at dawn in Saba? Has the best technology from the United States of America been used? America. For this mission, the best of the best, there have been no limits, none. Anything that has been requested has been provided. FE-35A, FE-35B, F-18, F-18G, F-22 and Harrier planes. The only thing missing was for Donald Trump to arrive leading this whole operation. And we're still waiting for Donald Trump? To start the press conference right now, Donald Trump is going to speak. We will be watching what happens, keeping an eye on what takes place. Tremendous, it is. I'm seeing videos here, but I'm not sure if they're real. Not sure if this video is real. There are some amazing videos right now. There are some truly crazy videos right now. Edmundo Gonzalez says these are decisive hours. Know that we are ready for the great operation of rebuilding our nation. He retweets Maria Corina Machado. Is there harmony right now? Momentum. This is important. Good harmony. You can. Could Nicolás Maduro be here now?
Aterrizando.
Guantanamo. Right now, Nicolás Maduro could be landing in Guantanamo. We're going to open right now. Live updates on current events. 2 planes to take. The former female dictator and the former male dictator of Venezuela to justice. Give me a second. We're calculating and searching. Things have happened here. Things are happening. Things are going on. We're going slowly, but we're playing it safe. Let's see Fly Radar. What do we have here? Fly Radar. Right now, we're going to see what we've missed. I'm going to pay special attention to the Guantanamo area. We're going to do a playback of what has happened there in the last few hours. They probably brought it from Puerto Rico. It must have come from Puerto Rico to another place, and it's probably being transferred from Iwo Jima to Puerto Rico, then to a plane. At this point, we don't know if it's stopped or been taken away. To Guantanamo. No, I think it would be a good message for Canal. Look, here it is. Come and get it. Come and get it. It seems that the shine code for these planes has been Xena 1 and Xena 2. It's possible that upon their arrival in Florida, the Guantanamo thing is a joke, right? It's a joke, isn't it? The planes left from Puerto Rico, and they've landed in Florida.
Yeah.
There's one that did make it to Guantanamo, but I think they were in Florida because they might possibly bring them before Donald Trump. That would be epic for Donald Trump to present them. Can you imagine Donald Trump presenting Nicolás Maduro live? Can you all imagine what this could be? This. Let's look for it. Let's do a playback of what happened there. No, there's no history or they haven't wanted to put it yet, but it has happened, okay?
Ha ocurrido.
Of course, imagine they stop him, take him over there, present him before Donald Trump, and he says, "Are you going to jail for life?" Can't you imagine? I was eating a moment ago. I was chatting with people. We were having a meal. I said something. You can't imagine since this topic came up. You really can't imagine. The legal trouble now facing Donald Trump. I'm telling Nicolás Maduro right now for Nico, a real legal hell is opening up that he won't be able to get out of. Get out? That he won't be able to escape from. And if Nicolás Maduro wants to improve his quality of life for the coming years, or his wife's, this too, the United States can play a big role. Concessions. He starts singing like Paulo Carvajal. And he starts implicating everyone he needs to implicate. We're in for a surprise, but people are also asking, what will happen tonight? Diosdado is still left standing. Is there still someone left? A criminal structure inside there. What's going to happen? All right, we have the location where Nicolás Maduro has been captured. In his bunker. There he was after so many stories and so much coming and going. Nicolás Maduro was holed up in a bunker, hiding like a little rat. In his pajamas. With little teeth, with the tooth fairy. This.
Era
The place where Nicolás Maduro's famous bunker was, right underneath. In this place, the weapons park of the Bolivarian National Armed Forces. Underneath that place, the troops of the Delta Team landed. And went in through there. They entered the bunker, took out the Cuban security. And took him away. Elzenza. From that helicopter that took Nicolás Maduro away. In this area here. Over that area right there. They bombed this to prevent the arrival of troops. Now, what we're seeing makes sense. This area was bombed to break the road so that no support troops could come up. Did they manage to? Or was Nicolás Maduro kept isolated? Was there no chance?
Yeah.
Let's go back to the place where the bunker is. Here. And this is what happened. Well, the Delta Team, I don't know if they've gone up the mountain or not, but there's a steep slope there. For me, there are likely more explanations. They probably came straight from here and must have descended. After that bombing, so powerful that we've seen this communication system must have also been cut off. All of this. And there will be an explanation when we have satellite images of everything that has happened. everything that has been going on. We're still waiting for Donald Trump, still waiting for the boss to arrive. Supposedly, let's see this. Let's take a look at the entrance to the bunker. Let's find Nicolás Maduro's bunker entrance. All right. Here it is. Now, yes, let it be clear. Of course, the landing zone, the helicopter, is here. This place, let's start making a design. 1 second. Let's change the screen for a moment.
Yeah.
So we can start drawing. And let's see. We come back again. We mark point landing zone. Elza? Place where? Between the sills, where the deltas enter. From that landing zone, the troops launch the assault. Towards the entrance of the bunker, they break through the existing security. Go! And they go inside, into a mountain, I insist, underground. 1,300 meters range. Let's look at it this way, from this point. We'll understand it better. He enters, they head inside. And Nicolás Maduro is taken out, so they take him to the Chinook. He is put on the helicopter and extracted along with his wife. And exit again. Heading toward the coast in Iwo Jima. Yes, it's very likely, and I think we can confirm that the entry was made from this sector. Taking cover behind the mountain ridges, trying to avoid anti-aircraft artillery fire, it's clear that a helicopter was hit. And notice that the area where I had marked the landing zone this morning in the 6:30 program was actually very close to there. Most likely the rest of the aircraft landed in this area and provided protection, projecting security throughout the entire weapons park area where all of this has happened. This, let's listen as well, DeBoss. Audio recordings. I think there's an audio about this topic. And let's see. It's strange that Nicolás Maduro was there, only it means, therefore, that he doesn't trust anyone. He doesn't trust anyone.
Bro, this is bad. They already called us to the foundation and will pick us up there. There's an internal coup. Dude, the Venezuelan military rose up here. They wiped out the Mamo Plateau, man, and that was horrible, the Mamo Plateau. Some people bombed the guard command.
Coast, and they bombed the...
They bombed the Guardia Costa Command, the Simón Bolívar Battalion, and destroyed all anti-aircraft batteries in La Guaira. They blew everything up, man, like 20 or 30 helicopters. This thing was horrible. First, the planes flew by, it was loud, and then things started falling, and the sky was rumbling, and then... Like when, how can I explain it to you, man? A sound like spinning, similar to a car's gearbox or clutch, just like that. And suddenly there was a light in the sky, man, and a bunch of tiny things started falling down. Boom, boom. That's where they destroyed Mambo Plateau, then 2 more fell, boom, boom. A bunch of helicopters flew by, finishing things off, man. They already called us to stay alert here at the house. But only when we can. We should go to the foundation since they'll pick us up there after it went to Caracal.
Or block new details? Attention to Donald Trump, what he's about to tell right now about how the little rat and the little mouse wanted to hide. Pay attention to this. Details of the capture of Nicolás Maduro.
Good, but he was in a house that was more like a fortress than a house.
What if it was a fortified house?
It had steel doors.
It had steel doors.
It had what they call a safety space where
It had a safety zone.
there's solid steel all around.
With solid steel walls?
He didn't get that space closed.
He says he didn't get into the security room.
He was trying to get into it,
He tried to get there,
but he got bummed so fast.
but he was caught quickly.
He didn't get into that. We were prepared. We had,
He says we were prepared anyway.
massive blowtorches and everything.
We used thermal lances to break through the walls.
You know, said you need to get through that steel,
If we had to get in, we were going to get in.
but we didn't need it.
But we didn't need it.
He didn't make it to that area of the house.
He didn't make it to that part of the house, to the safe area of the house.
Good. But he was in a
Nicolás Maduro had steel walls. He tried to run for his life, but the Delta guys were faster. They grabbed him by the hair, put handcuffs on him, and said, "Are you and your wife coming for a ride?" "We're going for a ride, Nicholas. We have to talk about a couple of things over there in New York. That place you liked so much." "Sure. And now you're going to visit it permanently?" Visitors. The story is incredible. It's an incredible story. If this is confirmed, there will be videos, and I can't wait to see them. And Trump is going to declassify them. He has to give a clear message. That video of how they get to Maduro needs to be declassified. What is clear is that does the United States have real-time intelligence on exactly where, when, and how Nicolás Maduro is hiding? How thick were the walls? Who was with him? How many people were guarding him? This had to be an inside job. Someone on the inside betrayed him. For some coins, for $50 million. If not, it is. What we're about to hear now is impossible because the soldier just said there's a civil war, an uprising, the world. We're going to listen to Vladimir Padrino while we wait for Donald Trump. We're waiting for Donald Trump to start, which will be any moment now. In a few minutes.
Good, heroic people of Venezuela, soldiers of the homeland, sons and daughters of Bolivar. The Bolivarian National Armed Forces informs the whole world that in the early morning of January 3rd, the Venezuelan people have been the target of the most criminal military aggression by the government of the United States of America so far. The barbarity of the invading forces that have desecrated our sacred land in the areas of Fuerte Tiuna, Caracas, and the states of Miranda, Aragua, and La Guaira. They have even struck with their missiles and rockets fired from their combat helicopters in civilian residential areas, for which we are already gathering information regarding the wounded and the dead. In the face of this vile and cowardly attack, which threatens the peace and stability of the region, we raise the strongest denunciation before the international community and all multilateral organizations so that the government is condemned. Does North American for the blatant violation of the United Nations Charter and international law. Free, independent, and sovereign Venezuela rejects with all the strength of its libertarian history the presence of these foreign troops who have only left death, pain, and destruction in their wake. This invasion represents the greatest outrage the country has suffered, which is a response to the insatiable greed for our strategic resources. Far from any supposed fight against narco-terrorism, this deplorable action seeks to forcibly bring about a regime change and subject us to the spurious designs of North American imperialism, trampling on the inalienable right to self-determination for which our liberators fought.
It's an interesting thing. Vladimir Padrino now has to make a decision. Will he get the same offer as Donald Trump? Exile, leave now? And make room for Edmundo and Maria Corina? If he doesn't take it again, the helicopters will show up and they'll take them away. Be there, thanks. Percy Rodriguez, who I believe is out, is reportedly in Russia. I'm not sure if that's true, but I'm with her. This one, inside or outside, if he doesn't take the path of exile, are they going to take him away? Diosdado Cabello, if he cares about his family and the people he loves, he'll have to leave. If he refuses, will they ask him to leave like they did with Nicolás Maduro? Yeah, complicated topic today. We weren't expecting this. Go to the stage to see, launch an important operation. Yes, it's true. You could launch a super important operation on this topic and so on, but not to the stage. That was considered. Nicolás Maduro was expected to last longer, but he didn't.
No.
That's not true. Nicolás Maduro couldn't handle it. He hasn't been able to resist it. And now when he starts to talk, he begins to reveal everything that's happening, everything that's going on. Every man for himself. Now we have to start to put up posters on the trees in Caracas. Missing person. Imagine the situation. Imagine the situation right now.
So,
The one that's happening. The one that's happening right now. It's a situation
yum.
in which Nicolás Maduro's son has also been charged. Celia Flores, Nicolásine, and Nicolás Maduro charged. We don't know if they've also taken the son. We don't know. Currently, from the Libertador base, it appears some F-16s remain. Say that. We hear, see, and observe. By the time it's too late, they've already taken Nicolás Maduro. They didn't leave last night and can't leave now. And I think now what he's going to do is more worried about who takes control or if Nicolás Maduro returns. 13 targets had been attacked during the day, the night, all night. 13 targets. The place where Nicolás Maduro was hiding. Maduro had been tracked in recent hours to his hiding place. 2 S-300 systems destroyed. Or at least one of them may have been destroyed. Venezuela has done nothing and can't respond. Period. Vladimir Padrino A. may have believed that something awaited him upon arriving in the United States by Flyraider. That was the technology, the famous advanced technology. Let's do this, badass. But look, Arrecho has come up. Let's see what information he gives us. Comm systems destroyed on Volcano Hill outside Caracas. We saw and discussed it last night, already marking it as the place. Luck, satellite communication systems, all. That clear, according to cable news network.
We appreciate you being here.
All right, attention, we have another morning.
Late last night and early today at my direction, The United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault
under my command last night in Venezuela.
World War I.
It hadn't been seen since World War I.
A force against a fortified military stronghold in the heart of Caracas.
In central Caracas, within the fortified military zone.
Maduro to justice.
To bring Nicolás Maduro to justice.
Stunning, effective, and powerful displays of force and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones like the attack on Soleimani.
You already know we attacked Soleimani, right?
Attack on al-Baghdadi.
To the attack on al-Baghdadi.
Obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites.
The local sites in Tehran.
In an operation known as Midnight Hammer.
In the operation named Midnight Hammer.
All perfectly executed and done.
All perfectly carried out.
The mission in the world could achieve what America achieved.
No one in the world can achieve what the United States has done.
All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered perilous as the men and women of our military worked with us.
All Venezuelan army forces and capabilities.
Captured in the dead of night.
It doesn't have a headquarters.
Darkade, the lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife.
He was captured with his wife, Sylvia
Flores.
Now
face American justice.
Both of them will be judged by American justice.
Indicted in the Southern District of New York.
He's going to be Jay
Clayton.
Taken to New York for the Southern Court.
Of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States.
For narco-terrorism against the United States.
Citizens.
They are citizens.
Thank the men and women of our military for their extraordinary success.
Thank you to the men and women of the United States for an extraordinary job tonight, who have demonstrated an incredible kind of skill and precision.
We've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment if you look back to Afghanistan or if you look back to...
Have they restored glory to this country after the tragedies of Afghanistan?
There were different days we're a respected country again, like never before.
Now we're more respected than ever before.
Is operating in collaboration with United States law enforcement. Caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming, so they were in what's called a ready position. But they were completely overwhelmed.
There were a lot of ships prepared by Venezuela waiting for them.
This is what I saw last year.
But they were totally incapable and did nothing to stop us.
But it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost.
Not a single piece of American equipment was lost. No American lives were lost in this operation.
In the fight? But think of that. Not one piece of military equipment was lost. Not one service member was, more importantly, killed.
No member or weapon of the United States was lost.
Not a single member was lost, nor were the fiercest soldiers on this planet lost. Scarcely begin to imagine we have the best equipment anywhere in the world.
We have the world's best equipment.
We have, and you see that even if you just look at the boats, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in.
97% of the drugs coming by sea have been destroyed.
On average, 25,000 people, we knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in. And we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years.
We don't want the same situation to happen.
Until such time as we can do a safe, proper military.
We're going to control the country until there is a calm, democratic, peaceful process.
Because that's what we're all about.
We won't allow another dictator in Venezuela.
Justice for the great people of Venezuela.
There will be peace and justice. Justice for the great people of Venezuela.
Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. And can people from the United States go back to Venezuela? That for Venezuela, that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition.
We're going to be in Venezuela until there is a transition. Essentially,
until such time as a proper transition can take place.
There will be a transition managed by the United States.
Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing compared to what they could have been pumping and what could have happened. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go and spend.
We're going to take our companies, American oil companies, to work there.
Oil infrastructure and start making money for the country.
We'll start making money for the country.
Ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we're
Estamos, atención, paro aquí un momento, porque eso es
important. We are prepared to launch a second attack, much more lethal, much stronger if necessary.
To do a second wave.
Are we prepared for a second wave?
If we needed to do so, we actually...
If we must, we will.
Assume that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not the first wave. If you want to call it that, the first attack was similar.
He says he doesn't think it will be necessary because of the first wave.
If it's successful, we probably won't need it.
It has been satisfactory.
We don't need a second one, but we're ready.
He says we probably won't need another, but we're ready.
We are prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave.
And even bigger?
Actually.
Repeat 4 times, second wave ready. Diosdado, Vladimir, please don't stay in power. Don't continue because you're going to end up in hell.
This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that...
He says this is a point. Is it pinpoint right now?
Probably won't have to do.
He says we might have to do it.
This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with, because of what we are able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent.
We will make the people of Venezuela rich and independent.
Independent and safe.
And safe?
And it will also make the many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered.
We will make Venezuelans living in the United States happy.
They suffered so much.
Marco Rubio, emotional.
Was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore.
They're never going to suffer again.
The illegitimate dictator Maduro was the
dictator Maduro?
Kingpin of a criminal network responding.
He was the king of a criminal network.
He was responsible for trafficking.
Responsible for trafficking.
Colossal amounts of deadly and...
of a large number of deaths.
Illicit drugs into the United States.
And about shipping drugs to the United States.
As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de los Solos.
He led the Los Solos cartel,
which flooded our nation with deadly poison. Responsibility.
Who was sending lethal things to our country?
For the deaths of countless Americans, the many, many Americans, hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of him. Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and state.
Maduro and his wife will face the full force of American justice.
Trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship, and they'll be heading to, ultimately, New York.
Right now, they're on a ship heading to New York.
And then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida.
The choice is between Miami and New York.
But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law.
All their crimes around the world will be presented.
And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take place.
He says It's more horrible to think about it than to say it.
In this place for years. After his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence and terror.
For years and during his terms, his violence has been increasing.
And subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only our people.
He says not only threatening our people,
but the stability of the entire region.
But also the stability of the entire region.
And you also saw it in addition to traffic in gigantic amounts of illegal drugs that inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over in particular the United States. Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide. And he did. Indeed, they were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes. They cut the fingers off people if they called police. They were brutal, but they're not so brutal now. And I just have to congratulate our military, Pete, and everybody, and our National Guard, because the job that they've done...
We have to congratulate the entire National Guard and everyone.
A city where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly. And now we have no crime in Washington, District of Columbia. We haven't had a killing. We had the terrorist attack a few weeks ago.
He's talking about the attack from a few weeks ago.
A threat, but we haven't had a killing in a long time, 6-7 months. We used to have on average two a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore.
Madre, are you opening?
Everyone's happy. They go in, they walk in with their daughters, they walk in there.
Are you talking about what happened in Washington? Family? There's now an official photo of Maduro. The previous one was fake.
Washington, District of Columbia.
Now there really is an official photo of Maduro.
Thank our military and law enforcement. They've done an amazing job and should do this in more cities. We're doing it, as you know, and we're doing it in Memphis, Tennessee right now, and crime is down. We started a few weeks ago.
I can't believe it.
7%. And the government?
Water bottle, did they leave him the watch?
And he wanted us to help him, as you know, and he was very nice.
They've covered his eyes and ears.
Louisiana, and we have done that. It was a rough section, and we have crime down, I understand. It's down to almost nothing. Already after 2.5 weeks in New Orleans, it's down to almost nothing, and we've only been there for 2.5 weeks. Can't see why governors wouldn't want our help since we already assisted.
It looks like they're going to send him to space to get ultraviolet rays.
We offered minimal help because we had worked with the governor, who was a disaster, as was the mayor, but it reduced crime. But we're pulling out of there when they need us. We'll know, you'll be writing about it. And likewise, Los Angeles, where we saved Los Angeles early on, where the head of...
Is Donald Trump claiming he saved Los Angeles and Washington?
Would have lost Los Angeles. That's long after the fires. That's when they had the...
I don't know if he peed himself or...
No credit for it whatsoever.
Photo is terrifying.
Underneath the credit. But we'll be pulling out when they need us, so-called, or we'll go back if we have to. We'll go back. But we did a great job in various cities. But the place that we're very proud of is Washington, District of Columbia, because it's our nation's capital. We took it from...
I won't dance anymore.
Being a crime-ridden mess.
Since Donald Trump isn't discussing this issue, I don't prioritize it.
But the gangs?
Is he looking at the photo?
Raped, tortured, and murdered.
In a tracksuit?
Women and children. They were in all of the cities I mentioned, Tren de Aragua, and they were...
Take off your leg. I don't know what it's from.
And now Maduro will never again be able to threaten an American citizen or...
Maduro will never threaten America again.
There will no longer be threats. For years, I've highlighted the stories of those innocent Americans whose lives were so heartlessly robbed by this Venezuelan terrorist organization. Really, one of the worst, they say the worst Americans, like 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari from Houston, beautiful Jocelyn Nungari. What happened to her? They, as you know, kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered her. It was done by the Tren de Aragua criminals. They murdered Jocelyn.
Are you referring to the Tren de Aragua's atrocities?
Under the bridge, there was a bridge that will never be the same to so many people after seeing what happened. As I've said many times, the Maduro regime emptied out their prisons, sent their worst and most violent monsters in.
Maduro has sent the worst inmates from the first prisons to the United States.
They came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They came from prisons and jails. The reason I say both, they sound similar. Actually, prisons are a little bit more hostile, a little bit tougher. A mental institution isn't as tough as an insane asylum, but we got them both. They sent people from mental institutions, jails and prisons, drug dealers and kingpins. They sent everybody bad into the United States, but no longer, and we now have a border where nobody gets through. There's one thing that's clear. Trump has said, we're going to lead Venezuela during the transition period until a peaceful transition. Forms costing United States billions and billions of dollars.
Vladimir Padrino. And those who remain want to fight. A much stronger second wave is coming.
Property
Let's see.
is our property.
What does Vlad say?
And we never had a president that decided to do anything about it.
I don't think Vladimir Padrino and Diosdado Cabello are going to head into the jungle to fight now.
Oil industry with American talent, drive, and skill. And the socialist regime stole it from us during those previous administrations, and they stole it through force.
He says that the communist regime took it away.
Of American property and
the talent created and built by American brothers in the oil industry. And now it's going to return.
Massive oil infrastructure. It was taken as if we were babies and we didn't do anything about it.
They took all our infrastructure without us doing anything.
That we will never allow foreign powers to rob our people or drive us back into and out of our own hemisphere. That's what they did. Furthermore, under the now deposed dictator Maduro, Venezuela was increasingly hosting foreign adversaries in our region and acquiring menacing offensive weapons that could threaten the United States interests and lives. And they used those weapons last night. Potentially.
Did they use their weapons last night?
Operating along our border.
Did they use their weapons last night?
Violation of the core principles of American foreign policy dating back more than 2 centuries and not anymore all the way back, dated to the Monroe Doctrine.
I see a little spot over there, huh?
A big deal, but we've superseded it by a real lot. They now call it the Don Road Document. I don't know, it's Monroe Doctrine. We forgot about it even though it was very important, but we don't anymore. Under our new national security strategy, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. Won't happen, so just in concluding, for decades, other administrations have neglected or even contributed to these growing security threats in the Western Hemisphere. Under the Trump administration, we are reasserting American power in a very powerful way in our home region, and our home region is very...
He's cuffed? Nicolás Maduro is wearing handcuffs.
Different than it was just a short while ago. The future will be. And we did this in my first term. We had great dominance in my first term, and we have far greater dominance right now. Everyone's coming back to us. The future will be determined by the ability to protect commerce and territory and resources that are core to national security. These are core to our national security, just like tariffs are. They've made our country rich, and they've made our national security strong, stronger than ever before. But these are the iron laws that have always determined global power, and we're going to keep it that way. We will secure our borders, we'll stop the terrorists, we will crash the cartels, and we will defend our citizens against all threats, foreign and domestic. Other presidents may have lacked the courage or whatever to defend America, but I will never allow terrorists and criminals to operate with impunity against the United.
We will not let criminals act with impunity against the United States.
To anyone who would threaten American sovereignty or endanger American lives. Crucially, the embargo on all Venezuelan oil is still fully enforced. The
embargo on Venezuela?
Remains poised in position, and the United States retains all military options until United States demands have been fully met and fully satisfied. All political and military figures in Venezuela should understand what happened to Maduro can happen to them, and it will happen to them.
Other dictators need to realize what happened to Maduro could also happen to them.
The dictator and terrorist Maduro is finally gone. In Venezuela, people are free. They're free again.
Venezuela's people are free again.
America's a safer nation this morning. It's a prouder nation this morning because it didn't allow this horrible person in this country that was doing very bad things to us. It didn't allow it to happen. And the Western Hemisphere is right now a much safer place to be. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank General Racing Kane. He's a fantastic man.
I want to thank General Kane.
I worked with some I didn't like. I worked with some I didn't respect. I worked with some, they just weren't good, but this guy's fantastic. I watched last night one of the most precise attacks on sovereignty. I mean, it was an attack for justice. I'm very proud of him and our citizens.
One of the most important attacks this century.
I'm going to ask to say a few words.
He's giving the floor to Pete Hesed, Secretary of War.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. At last, a commander-in-chief respected worldwide and deserving of Americans. As the president said, words can hardly capture the bravery, power, and precision of this historic operation. A massive joint military and law enforcement raid, flawlessly executed by the greatest Americans, our country has to offer American warriors.
He says this was done by America's best soldiers.
Of our country, what all of us witnessed last night was sheer guts.
Family, we are live right now. Please, your likes, comments, super chat, everything.
The American warrior. I'm simply humbled by such a man, such men. And I tip my hat to our chairman, Dan Racing Kane, and all those Americans who stood watch last night over our world.
He says, I'm proud of all of them, America.
And again, President Trump has your back. President Trump has your back. Pull this kind of operation off, and no other president has ever shown this kind of leadership.
No other president has ever demonstrated this kind of leadership.
The world has ever seen, as the president said, our adversaries remain on notice. America can project our will anywhere, anytime. The coordination, the stealth, the lethality, the precision, the very long arm of American justice, all on full display in the middle of the night. Nicolás Maduro had his chance just like Iran had their chance.
Nicolás Maduro had his chance just like Iran had their chance.
And he found out. President Trump is deadly serious about stopping the flow of gangs and violence to our country, deadly serious about stopping the flow of drugs and poison to our people, deadly serious about getting back the oil that was stolen from us, and deadly serious about reestablishing American deterrence and dominance in the Western Hemisphere. This is about the safety, security, freedom, and prosperity of the American people. This is America first. This is America first. Strength is the United States War Department. He's proud.
About strength.
Welcome to 2026.
It says, welcome to 2026.
America's back.
And, as President Trump has said, America is back.
Raising Kane to provide more details about the operation, Mr. Chairman.
And now I'm going to hand it over to General Kane. Thank you.
Mr. Secretary, thank you, Mr. President, and good morning last night. By order of the President of the United States and at the Department of Justice's request, as the President stated, the United States military conducted an apprehension mission in Caracas, Venezuela, to bring to justice two indicted persons, Nicolás and Cecile Maduro. Operation Absolute Resolve was discreet, precise, and carried out during the darkest hours of January 2nd, and was the culmination of months of planning and rehearsal. An operation that, frankly, only the United States military could undertake. This morning, I'd like to discuss some of the preparation and details with you, without compromising any of our tactics, techniques, and procedures. There is always a chance that we'll be tasked to do this type of mission again. Our interagency work began months ago and built on decades of experience of integrating complex air, ground, space, and maritime operations. While the past 2 decades have honed the skills of our Special Operations Forces, this particular mission required every component of our joint force, with soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Guardians working in unison with our intelligence agency partners and law enforcement teammates in
Yes, we have been working in an interagency manner with everyone.
our unmatched intelligence capabilities. We have developed an incredible intelligence capability to hunt down terrorists. This mission was only possible thanks to the intelligence agency's outstanding work. And we couldn't have done this without the CIA, National Security Agency, and the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency.
And the
We waited and prepared.
FBA.
La F.
B.A.
Patient and professional, this mission was meticulously planned, drawing lessons from decades.
This mission was meticulously planned.
Through many missions over these last many years, this was a bold operation that only the United States could carry out.
An ambitious operation only the United States could execute.
In integration within our joint force, and the word integration does not explain the sheer complexity of such a mission.
He says it's difficult to explain the complexity of this mission.
Of 150 aircraft launching across the Western Hemisphere in close. 150 aircraft have intervened in time for a single purpose: to maintain Caracas. The element of tactical surprise.
Tactic of surprise.
Machine.
I must be tougher.
You endangered the entire mission, and failure is never an option for Americans.
America sees failure as unacceptable. Its machinery is never allowed to fail.
Last night, they were willing to give their lives for those on the ground and in the helicopters. Let me talk a little bit about the preparation.
He says, let me discuss the preparation.
By our intelligence teammates to find Maduro and understand how he moved, where he lived, where he turned.
Intelligence preparation focused on understanding how Maduro lives, what he wears, and what he does.
Our force was set pending a series of aligned events.
It all started in December.
The right day to minimize the potential for civilian, and we chose the most potential day
with no civilian casualties.
So as
the day when it would be easier.
Be brought to justice. And as the president said earlier today, weather in Venezuela is always a factor this time of the year and over the weeks through Christmas and New Year's. The men and women of the United States military sat ready, patiently waiting.
On Christmas Day and New Year's Day, they were ready to do it as well.
Last night, the weather broke just enough, clearing a path that...
Last night, the weather was perfect to do it.
Could maneuver through, so the pilots could maneuver. Ceilings... But when tasked with a mission, this organization does not quit. At 10:46 p.m. Eastern, the president ordered the United States military.
At 10 p.m., Trump gave the order.
He said, "And I wish you good luck and may God speak." Over the course of the night, aircraft began launching from 20 different bases on land and sea across the Western Hemisphere.
From 20 different bases from the sea and land.
Fighters, intelligence, reconnaissance, surveillance, and rotary wing aircraft were in the air last night.
They were all in the air last night.
Hours of experience were airborne. Our youngest was 20 and our oldest crew member. The participants were 20 years old. The military might.
Hired the most experienced people.
Took off with the extraction force, which included law enforcement officers, and began their flight into Venezuela at 100 feet above the water as they approached Venezuela.
They flew below 100 feet in altitude.
Different effects provided by Spacecom, Cybercom, and other members of the interagency.
Was there also a cyber attack?
Said those forces were protected from aircraft, were protected by aircraft from the United States Marines, the United States Navy, the United States Air Force, and the Air National Guard. The force included F-22s, F-35s, F-18s EA, 18s E-2, SB-1 bombers, and other support aircraft, as well as numerous
B-1 SF-18s, F-35s ABs, and F-22s have been used.
The Joint Air Component began dismantling and disabling the air defense systems in Venezuela.
They have flown at 30 meters altitude, the SAFE. They have flown at 30 meters altitude.
Area. The goal of our air component was, and always will be to protect the helicopters and the ground force and get them to the target and get them home. As the force crossed the last point of high terrain where they'd been hiding in the clutter, we assessed that we had maintained totally the element of surprise.
At the last point before entering Caracas, we confirmed that we still had the element of surprise.
At 1:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 2:01 a.m. Caracas local time. At 2 a.m. the assault was launched. They descended into Maduro's compound and moved with speed, precision, and discipline towards their target. They moved.
With discipline and efficiency, quickly.
And security of the ground force while apprehending the indicted persons.
The area was secured while Nicolás Maduro was being detained.
On arrival into the target area, the helicopters came under fire.
When the helicopters arrived in the area, the helicopters came under fire.
And they replied with that fire with overwhelming force and self-defense.
And the shots were fired again. The United States returned fire in self-defense.
One aircraft was hit but stayed.
One of our aircraft was damaged, but
flyable, as the president said earlier.
It came back home.
All our aircraft returned, and that plane stayed flyable for the rest of the mission.
And all the aircraft remained operational for the rest of the mission.
As the operation unfolded at the compound, our air and ground intelligence teams provided real-time updates to the ground force, ensuring.
And the intelligence team was providing real-time intelligence. Real-time to the ground forces.
Helping those forces safely navigate the complex environment.
To navigate inside the bunker.
Without unnecessary risk, the force remained protected by overhead tactical aviation.
The troops were protected from the air at all times.
Maduro and his wife, both indicted, gave up and were.
Maduro and his wife surrendered.
Taken into custody by the Department of Justice, assisted by our incredible United States military with professionalism.
And they were arrested by the Department of Justice with the professional help of members of the Army.
And precision with no loss of United States life.
No loss of life.
After securing the indicted persons, the force began to prep for departure. Helicopters were called in to exfiltrate the extraction force, while fighter aircraft and remotely piloted aircraft provided overhead coverage and...
While this was happening and they were ready to leave, they called again. The helicopters arrived with coverage from drones and fighter jets.
Suppressive fire, there were multiple self-defense engagements.
There was a multitude of self-defense, of engaging in combat or entering combat in self-defense.
As the force began to withdraw out of Venezuela.
When the force was beginning to realize what was happening.
The force successfully exfiltrated and returned to their afloat launch bases.
The forces were embarked and returned to the starting point.
And the force was over the water at 3:29 a.m.
And the forces were over the water at 3:29.
Post-meridian Eastern Standard Time with indicted persons on board in both.
With the persons of interest inside.
Both Maduro and his wife were embarked aboard the United States ship Iwo Jima.
And Maduro was embarked on the Iwo Jima.
In closing, what we've witnessed today is a powerful demonstration of America's joint force. We thank you.
What we have seen today is living proof of the strength of the United States of America.
We develop, we train, we rehearse, we debrief, we rehearse again and again, not to get it right, but to ensure that we cannot get it wrong.
He says it's to make sure we don't get it wrong.
Our jobs are to integrate combat power. So when the order comes, we can deliver overwhelming force at the time and the place of our choosing against any foe anywhere in the world.
Anywhere, any place, or anything we can imagine, we can do it anywhere in the world. Notice to navigators.
I am immensely proud today of our joint force and filled with gratitude to represent them here today. There is simply no mission too difficult for these incredible professionals.
There is no difficult mission for these great professionals.
And the families that stand by them and support them. As we stand here this morning, our forces remain in the region at a high state of readiness.
While we are here talking, our remaining forces are in the region on alert.
Prepared to project power, defend themselves and our interests in the region. This operation is a testament to the dedication and unwavering commitment to justice and our resolve to hold.
The interest in bringing this to justice and resolving it.
Accountable those who threaten peace. And stability. In closing, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women who executed this mission. Their courage and tireless commitment to our nation are what makes us strong. Thank you, Mr. Actor, and thank you, Mr. President.
A pat on the back from Donald Trump. And here comes Marco.
I have nothing more to add beyond what's already been said.
He says he has little more to add to what you've heard.
The following points. Nicolás Maduro was indicted in 2020.
Nicolás Maduro was he? Legally charged in 2020.
In the United States, he isn't Venezuela's legitimate president?
He is not Venezuela's legitimate president.
Venezuela. It's not just us. Both Trump and Biden administrations have said it.
Does it say, did the Trump administration know this? Did the Biden administration know this?
The second Trump administration, none of them.
And the second administration of those?
3 recognized him, he's not.
No one recognized him.
Recognized by the European Union and multiple.
The European Union doesn't recognize him either.
He is.
And in no country around the world.
He's a fugitive of American justice with a $50 million reward.
And he had a $50 million reward.
Which I guess we saved $50 million and make sure. Yeah, exactly.
But don't let anybody claim it.
He says, don't let anybody claim the 50 million Trump joking, Marco laughing.
Nobody deserves it.
He says nobody deserves the 50 million.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolás Maduro.
This is incredible. This is amazing.
He had multiple opportunities to avoid this.
He says Maduro had several chances to avoid this.
He provided multiple very, very, very generous offers.
He says, we have made very generous offers to Nicolás.
Instead, he acted wild and chose to play around. The result is what we saw tonight.
He says, and the result has been what we've seen tonight.
The other message here is the following.
The House always wins.
Many people around the world, like this guy, enjoy playing games.
He says we have a guy who, like many, enjoys playing games worldwide.
Who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country?
Who decides to invite Iran into his country?
Is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies. It's going to flutter.
Who confiscates the American oil companies?
With gang members.
Who sends gangster to our country?
Is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them.
That he takes the prisoners to our country and
he pretends he can beat them and sells himself that way.
He kidnaps people and uses them as bargaining chips.
With the Biden administration.
How have you seen it under Biden?
Mainly enjoys playing games and thinking.
He says he likes to play games all the time.
Nothing's going to happen.
And nothing's going to happen.
And I hope what people now understand is...
I hope people understand now.
We have the 40th president.
We have a president.
7th, the president of the United States isn't a game player.
He is not a player. Trump doesn't play.
When he tells you that he's going to do something,
When he tells you he's going to do something, he's going to do it.
Sir tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it.
When he says he's going to fix a problem, he really is going to fix it.
He acts. I've observed this process for 14 or 15 years.
He says, have I seen this?
I've been around it for 15 years and everybody talked.
For 15 years.
When I arrive, we'll take action. This president gets things done.
He says he's a president of action.
Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out.
He says, I don't get why they haven't realized this. Why has he been so stubborn, Maduro?
And now, if you don't know now, you know.
He says, and now, if you didn't know, now you know.
Because this is the way it's going to play out, and I think people...
He says, and this is how this is going to play out. And this is how it's going to be.
Need to understand that this is not a president who just talks and writes letters.
This president doesn't just talk and act like a charlatan.
In press conferences and,
And who has dull press conferences?
When he says he's serious, he means it.
If he says he'll do something, he means it and will do it.
CER. And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest.
And this was a threat to national security.
Of the United States and the president.
Trump is already awake. Trump. When he hears Marco, he wakes up right away.
And addressed it this.
It's like his child. Look at that look. Look at that look of Trump towards Marco Rubio, full of pride. It's moving. It brings tears to your eyes to see this.
President of peace, as I mentioned, this guy had several chances.
I've told you from the beginning, for a while now, he's had many opportunities.
To find his way and figure out.
To look for a place somewhere else, to find his spot in another place.
He could be living elsewhere now, very happy.
He says he could have been happy living elsewhere.
But instead, he wanted to play big boy.
But did he prefer to act like the big boy?
You know, he's got other sets of problems on his hands.
And now he's going to have other problems on his hands.
But I think that the message here should be for the world. Look, the president.
He says, but the message here has to be for the world.
The president doesn't seek out conflict and usually wants to get along with everyone.
He says he wants to get along with everyone.
Talk and meet with anybody.
He talks to everyone.
But don't play games.
But don't play.
Don't play games with this president's in office.
Don't play with Trump. Look at Trump's face.
Trump, because it's not going to turn out well.
Because it's not going to end well.
I hope that,
He says, I have hope that.
I guess that lesson was learned last night, and
He says that this has been a lesson learned for everyone.
We hope this will be instructive going forward.
And that we can move forward.
Mr. President.
Marco, we want you as President of the United States of America.
Go.
It's not that we want you. You are obligated. You must become the future President of the United States. You have to continue this legacy, the work of this man to your left. Is the one we want you to follow, to lead us to the freedom of all peoples. Marco, you are very noble, and you are a clear and sincere man. Keep it up. And Marco goes with questions. Trump gets encouraged.
Please.
In power right now.
We're going to be running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which...
He says we're going to meet. He says what's going to happen now with Venezuela. He says we're going to meet. We're going to prepare a working group. We're going to restructure Venezuela's oil capacity.
It will cost billions of dollars, and it will be paid for directly by the oil companies.
He says there's going to be a lot of money that will be paid by American companies to Venezuela.
They will be reimbursed for what they're doing, but that's going to be paid.
And it's going to be paid.
And we're going to get the oil flowing the way it should be. As you know, it was just a minor flow. It's actually a minor flow for what they have. But we're going to run it properly, and we're going to make sure the people of Venezuela are taken care of.
And we're going to make sure that the people of Venezuela are taken care of, because Trump is going to be president of Venezuelans for a while now.
We'll ensure support for those forced out of Venezuela.
We'll ensure those forced to leave Venezuela can return.
This thug is also taken care of.
Does the United States running a country mean United States troops will be there? How would that work?
He says there will be United States troops on the ground. Did you already know about it last night?
Well, they always say boots on the ground. Oh, so we're not afraid of boots on the ground if we have them.
He says we're not afraid of having American troops boots on the ground.
We had boots on the ground last night.
We had American boots on the ground last night.
At a very high level, actually.
At a very high level.
We're not afraid of it.
We're not afraid. We're not afraid.
We don't mind saying it, but we'll ensure that country is run right. We're not.
But we're going to make sure that country is run properly.
Doing this in vain, this is a very dangerous attack. This is an attack that could have gone very, very badly. Could have gone very badly.
This could have ended badly, huh?
We could have lost a lot of people last night.
We could have lost a lot of people last night.
We could have lost much dignity and equipment.
We might have lost a lot of equipment.
It's less important, but we could have lost a lot.
But could lives have been lost?
And we're going to make sure that this is proper. We're there now. We're ready to go again if we have to.
He says, we're ready to go again if we have to go.
We're going to run the country right. It's going to be run very judiciously, very fairly.
We're going to run the country very, very well.
It's going to make a lot of money. We're going to...
With justice, we'll make a lot of money.
Give money to the people. We're going
to give money to the people.
Reimburse.
We're going to reinvest.
people that were taken advantage of.
So that people can take advantage of this.
We're going to take care of everybody.
We'll take care of everyone. Is Marco Rubio excited right now?
It's very important. We couldn't let them get away with it. You know, they saw our oil. We built that whole industry there.
He says, we built the whole oil industry there.
They took over like we were nothing and we had a problem.
And they took it away as if we were nothing.
President who chose not to act.
The president chose inaction.
So we did something about it. We're late.
Have we done anything about this?
We took action. Yeah, please.
Next question. Is this happening to me now? Tears in my eyes? I'm not Venezuelan. I'm just thinking about Venezuelans now. How must they be feeling right now at this moment in their lives? How emotional must they be? Right now, I honestly feel like Venezuela's brother.
No.
Mechanism by which you're going to run the country. Will you appoint someone?
He says,
are you going to designate someone to carry out or to run the country?
It's all being done. It's all being done right now. Yes.
It's already been done.
Designating people, we're talking.
Are there already people designated to go to Venezuela?
To people, we're designating various people, and we're going to let you know who those people are.
And we're going to let you know. We're going to let you know who those people are. He hasn't mentioned Edmundo or Maria Corina. He hasn't mentioned Edmundo or Maria Corina. And then I said one day, something
would run Venezuela.
So it's largely going to be for a period of time. The people that are standing right behind me, we're going to be running it. We're going to be bringing it back. It's you talk about a dead country a year.
He says Venezuela is currently a dead country, but the people behind me will move it forward.
A year and a half ago, we were struggling. Now we're the hottest country in the world. We're a country doing better than any country anywhere in the world, and it required leadership. Venezuela has a lot of bad people in there, a lot of them.
He says Venezuela has many bad people.
These are unfit leaders, and we won't risk choosing one of them.
We're not going to allow any of those bad people to lead the country. Diosdado Dersi, ay Zapatero, Vladimir Padrino.
We'll take over for Maduro so you can look at and others. We have fantastic people, including people in the military, so we're going to have a group of people running it until such.
We're going to have people from the military who are going to lead this country.
Time as it can be put back on track, make a lot of money for the people.
We'll make a lot of money for the people.
And give people a great way of life. And
we'll give people a decent life.
Also reimbursement for people in our country that will...
And we are going to reinvest for people in our country.
Be expelled from Venezuela.
So that they help Venezuela.
Rubio would be...
Earlier today on Fox and Friends, you said you wouldn't support Machado's return as opposition leader. You mentioned Venezuela's vice president. Will you work with them, or what do you expect the relationship to be like?
I understand she was just sworn in, but she was, as you know, picked by Maduro. Marco is handling that directly. He's just had a conversation with her, and she's essentially willing to do what we think is necessary to make Venezuela great again. Very simple.
Marco Rubio is speaking. And he is coordinating with Edmundo. And Edmundo is willing to do whatever is necessary to make Venezuela great again. Family, we're live on military strategies now. Donald Trump's press conference, important moment, historic moment right now, live, H-E-R-E.
Mr. President, so Colombian President Gustavo Petro a couple weeks ago.
Are we talking about Petro?
He needs to watch himself, but today he said he's not worried about anything happening to him after this operation. So just what is your message?
Well, he has cocaine mills, he does.
Petro is a cocaine manufacturer.
Factories where he makes cocaine.
He has the factories where it is made.
And yeah, I think I stick by my first statement. He's making cocaine and they're sending it into the United States. So
he produces cocaine and ships it to the United States.
He does have to watch his ass.
He has to watch his ass. He just told Gustavo Petro Petrito, watch your back, watch your ass. Because we're coming for you.
Did you notify any members of Congress in advance?
Marco, do you want to talk about that? Because you were involved, I'm sure.
We call members of Congress right after. This mission couldn't have prior congressional notification.
He says this is not the kind of mission that you can notify Congress about. We called them after the operation.
It was a trigger-based mission with conditions to meet night after night.
This operation needed nightly monitoring.
Dia watched them honor that for a number of days, so it's just...
And we had been waiting for days for the right moment.
It's simply not the kind of mission where you can call people and say, hey...
You can't just call people and say, hey, let's go to Venezuela.
We may do this within 15 days, but it's mainly a law enforcement role. Remember, ultimately...
But remember this. This is an operation of the Department of Justice.
This was essentially the arrest of 2 indicted fugitives.
This operation aims to arrest 2 people wanted by the United States.
America Judas of American Justice and the Department of War supported the Department of Justice in that job. There are broader policy implications, but you can't pre-notify this kind of mission because it would endanger it.
You can't tell people about this because you would endanger the mission.
If I could add one thing to that, Congress has a tendency to leak.
He says, and congressmen like to leak.
This would not be good if they leaked, General. I think it would have been maybe a very different result. But I have to say they knew we were coming at some point.
They knew we were leaving, he says. They knew eventually we would go.
But, you know, a lot of ships out there, they sort of knew.
There were a lot of planes, a lot of ships.
We were coming, we went through.
They knew we were coming.
But Congress will leak, and we don't want leakers.
He says the congressmen were going to leak it, and we don't want that.
You were one of the only people to watch this all play out live. What was Maduro doing when the United States forces entered what I assume would be his home? And also, was there any point where the United States was considering killing Maduro if he pushed back or resisted?
What could have happened?
What did Maduro do? And did Maduro resist? Was there an order to eliminate Nicolás Maduro if he resisted? Donald Trump says it might have happened.
It might have happened. He was seeking safety.
He tried to get to his safe room.
The safe place is all steel, and he wasn't able to make it to the door because
And he couldn't make it to the door.
The Puerto guys were so fast. They went through the opposition so fast.
And the guys went in after him really fast.
There was a lot of opposition. You know, people were wondering, do we get him by surprise? Kind of a surprise, but they were waiting for something. There was a lot of opposition. There was a lot of gunfire. You saw some of it today. But he was trying to get to a safe place.
He tried to get to his panic room, to a safe room.
It wasn't safe because the door could have been blown up.
He says, but it wasn't going to be a safe room because we were going to blow the door open. Oh my God.
About 47 seconds, they say on average.
In 47 seconds, we would have blown the door open. They knew down to the millimeter and the thickness of the door.
No matter how thick the steel was.
We knew exactly how thick it was.
It was a very thick door. It was a very heavy door, but
It was a very heavy door.
He couldn't reach the door he built.
And he didn't have time to reach that door.
To the door, he was unable to close it.
Diego, up to there, but he couldn't close it because it was too heavy. Too heavy? Who would think of building a bunker? Is Nicolás Maduro the only one who can't close the door?
Go ahead, finish.
Where is Maduro going to be in the time being right now? Do you know his exact?
Eventually, ultimately, in the near future, he's going to be brought to New York.
And where is he going to be held? Where is he going to be held in New York?
That's going to be up to the officials that do these things.
Mr. President, the United States has something of a mixed track record of ousting dictators without necessarily a plan for what comes afterwards.
That's why we had different presidents, but that's not true for me. With me, we've had a perfect track record of winning. We win a lot, and we win. If you look at Soleimani, you look at al-Baghdadi, you look at the Midnight Hammer. Midnight Hammer was amazing. Right now, there wouldn't be peace in the Middle East, but now we basically have it. Because of that, if we weren't successful with Midnight Hammer, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. So with me, you've had a lot of victory. You've had only victories. You've had no losses, yeah.
We had no losses last night, making this a victory.
How long should the United States control Venezuela, and when do you want it to start?
How long do you think the United States will lead Venezuela?
Venezuelan people to hold elections.
So I'd like to do it quickly, but it takes time.
He says, I want it done quickly, but it'll take time.
A period of time we're rebuilding. We have to rebuild their whole infrastructure.
We have to rebuild all the infrastructure.
The infrastructure is decayed and very dangerous. It's a blow-up zone. Oil is very dangerous. It's a very dangerous thing to take out of the ground. It can kill a lot of people. It has killed a lot of people doing just that.
He says we have to make sure it's done safely.
Infrastructure is old, it's rotted.
The infrastructure is old and deteriorated.
Much of it is stuff that we put there 25 years ago, and we're going to be replacing it. And we're going to take a lot of money out so that we can take care of the country.
Are you saying that Secretary Rubio and
Mr. President, China, Russia, and Iran have interests in Venezuela. How does this
Russia, China, and Iran all have interests in Venezuela.
affect your relationship?
How will this affect relationships?
It's with them when it comes to China and Russia. Well, Russia when we get things straightened out, but
All right, about Russia, they have other things to think about now.
in terms of other countries that want oil,
What about other countries needing oil?
we're going to sell them oil. We're not refusing, so we'll be selling oil. Probably in much larger doses since they couldn't produce much because they're infinite.
Surely we're going to sell them oil in larger quantities since Venezuela couldn't produce them.
The structure was so bad. So we'll be selling large amounts of oil to other countries, many of whom are using it now, but I would say many more will come.
Are you saying that?
are you saying?
Mr. President, thank you. What's your message to Venezuela today?
What would you say to the people of Venezuela today?
Many civilians have questions. What is your message to the people of Venezuela?
You're going to have peace, justice. You're going to have some of the riches that you should have had for a long period of time. It was stolen from.
You're going to have peace, stability, and you're going to be rich like you never were before.
But you'll have peace, safety, and justice.
Are you going to have safety and justice?
You're going to have a country. You're going to have something real.
Are you going to have a country?
You could have a real, maybe even great country.
Are you going to have a great country?
If you go back 20 years or more, that was a great country.
25 years ago, it was a great country.
And they destroyed it, remember?
And they destroyed it.
Said that if we lose this election, the United States will be Venezuela on steroids. That's what would have happened had we lost the election, the 2024 election. We suffered. So when we lost the 2024 elections...
This was a catastrophe.
From 2020 what? What they did, what Joe Biden administration did to our country should never be forgotten. But if we had to go through another year of that, we would be exactly where Venezuela was. In terms, I used to say if they win, we're going to be Venezuela on steroids, and that's what would have happened.
Thank you. Are you saying Secretary Hegseth and Rubio will run Venezuela, and will you?
He says, are you saying that Secretary Rubio and Pitt are going to run Venezuela?
Will you be sending in United States military troops?
That's working.
There will be a team.
With the people of Venezuela.
With the people of Venezuela.
To make sure that we have Venezuela, right? Because...
To make sure that Venezuela is going to be okay.
For us to just leave, who's going to take over? I mean...
Who's going to lead Venezuela? It says here, who's going to lead Venezuela? You have to excuse me, it's ended there. I ask you for forgiveness.
There is nobody to take.
Now?
You have...
He says, there's no one who can take the reins. My goodness. What Donald Trump is saying right now, there's no one who can manage Venezuela at this moment. I don't know if this is a blow for Maria Corina and Edmundo, but without a doubt, it shows that Donald Trump doesn't have confidence in their ability to manage things. At least that's what I take from this, though it could be something else.
A vice president who's been appointed by Maduro, and right now she's the vice president, and she's, I guess, the president. She was sworn in as president just a little while ago. She had a long conversation with Marco, and she said, we'll do whatever you need. I think she was quite gracious, but she really doesn't have a choice. We're going to have this.
Delcy told Marco, we'll do whatever you want. Delcy was appointed by Maduro.
Said, right, we're not just dealing with Maduro and then leaving like everyone else, letting it fall apart. If we just left, it has zero chance of ever coming back. We'll run it properly. We'll run it professionally. We'll have the greatest oil companies in the world going and invest billions and billions of dollars.
We have companies that are going to invest millions and millions of dollars in oil in Venezuela. And we can't allow them to stay in power.
And take out money, use that money in Venezuela, and the biggest beneficiary is going to be the people.
They'll use that money in Venezuela, making Venezuela the main beneficiary.
People of Venezuela, and also, I can't stress this strongly enough, the people who were thrown out of Venezuela and are now in the United States. And frankly, some want to stay and some probably want to go back, yeah.
What is being done to protect Americans in the country, and were any of the detained Americans?
Right now, they're very protected because no one will mess with us, the people of, and we let them know that you better not touch one of them.
About the political prisoners, they're going to be very protected because we've told them not to even think about touching a hair on their heads.
Are you concerned that bad elements of the Maduro regime will remain in place?
Well, we know who they are.
Do you think the remnants of Nicolás Maduro's regime will stay? Donald Trump. We know who they are.
We're on them, and
we know where they are.
And they're acting much differently now than they would have 2 days ago.
And they'll behave very differently than they did 2 days ago. The little dances, the hammers, and the phone calls are over. Good morning. La Sayona is wandering around. That's over.
Okay, wait behind you, please. Why is running a country in
South America first?
Well, I think it is because we want to surround ourselves with good neighbors. We want to surround ourselves with stability. We want to surround ourselves with energy. We have tremendous energy in that country. It's very important that we protect it. We need it for ourselves, the world, and to ensure we can protect it. Yes, sir, please go ahead.
Is there a message here for Cuba, and do you have canal?
Well, Cuba is an interesting case. Cuba is, not doing...
They're asking him about Cuba.
Very well right now.
He says Cuba isn't doing well right now.
That system hasn't worked well for Cuba or its people.
Marco looks down.
People there have suffered for years.
Cuba has been suffering for many years.
And I think Cuba is going to be something we'll end up talking about because Cuba...
Will Cuba do something we'll discuss later?
Lando is a failing nation right now, a very badly failing nation.
Right now, it's a great nation that's poorly managed.
And we want to help the people. It's very similar in that sense.
And we want to help the people of Cuba? And this is very similar to Venezuela.
We want to help the people in Cuba, but we do.
We want to help the people in Cuba.
Y Donald Trump se gira hacia Marco.
Also help the people that were forced out of Cuba
and we want to help the people who were forced to leave Cuba. Donald Trump was looking at Marco.
Do you want to comment on living in this country, Marco?
Marco, do you want to say something about this?
Well, I mean, I just gave you a statement a few minutes ago about when the president speaks, you should take him seriously. So suffice it to say, Cuba is a disaster.
Cuba is a disaster.
Seen how men, and in some cases not seen how, but incompetent. However, it has no economy, it's completely collapsed, and no.
It has no economy, it's a total collapse.
By the way, everyone knows the guards and entire spy agency protecting Maduro were critical.
All the guys who protected Maduro were Cubans.
It was all Cubans, basically.
They were Cubans, like we were saying, the Cuban who always went with him.
It's amazing that this poor island took over Venezuela. In some cases, one of the biggest problems they have is them.
That poor country took control of Venezuela.
To declare independence from Cuba, which tried to basically colonize it from a security standpoint. If I lived in Havana and worked in the government, I'd be at least a little concerned.
Of Cuba from Venezuela.
Well, the president already announced a week ago that anything that's sanctioned oil, it's not going to be allowed to get there. So that's...
Anything that is sanctioned is not going to reach Cuba.
Yes, pre-existing.
Trump moves Marco because Marco gets excited and Trump pulls him back.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Are you aware of opposition Mayor Matado's location? And have you contacted her?
No, we haven't. Yes.
Mr. President.
On Monday?
I think it would be hard for her to lead since she lacks support and respect in the country. She's nice, but lacks respect.
Mr. President, is it possible that the U.S. and administrating Venezuela for years, in some way?
Well, it won't cost us anything because the money coming out of the ground is...
They say it won't cost us anything to manage it because the money will come from the land, from oil.
It's substantial, so it won't cost us anything. We want safety there. We want to be surrounded by countries that aren't housing all of our enemies.
We want neighboring countries to be friendly.
All over the world, that's what was happening, and you don't want to have that. But we're going to be rebuilding, and we're not spending money. The oil companies are going to go in. They're going to spend money. We're going to reclaim the oil we should have taken long ago. A lot of money is coming out of the ground. We're going to get reimbursed for all of that. We're going to get reimbursed for everything that we spend. So it's going to be, it's going to be a very important. This is a very big evening that took place last night.
This is something very big that happened last night.
We have to be surrounded by safe, secure countries.
We have to be surrounded by countries that are safe.
And we also have to have energy, very important.
And we also have to have energy.
We have to have energy. That's real energy, not where they're getting 4 and 5% of the energy out of the ground. You take a look. It was such a disaster. So what's going to happen with Venezuela? Over the next year, I believe it will be great, with the people of Venezuela benefiting most.
Venezuela's people will greatly benefit from what happens in the next few years.
Thank you for watching the video.
What was the last thing you talked about with Maduro when you spoke?
Well, I don't want to get into the conversations, but I did have conversations with him, and I said, you got to surrender.
I told Maduro in the last conversation, you have to surrender.
And I actually thought he was pretty close to doing so, but now he wishes he did, yeah.
And I think he was about to do it, but in the end, he didn't.
President, you explain.
You said that Maduro is responsible for drug trafficking. You recently pardoned the former Honduran president convicted of drug trafficking. How are these two situations connected?
Well, I endorsed, as you know, the winning president, the man who won in Honduras. I endorsed the men who won in Chile. I endorsed the men who won in Argentina. And we are doing very well with that whole group. What the man that I pardoned was, if you could equate it to us, he was treated like the Biden administration treated a man named Trump. That didn't go well for them. This was a man who was persecuted very unfairly. He was ahead of the country. He was persecuted.
Are they asking you why you released the president of Honduras?
Very unfairly, and there are a number of them, and we felt that it was a very unfair situation that happened to him. He's also a party member of the man who won, so obviously the people liked what I did. And one of the reasons that was done is because of the fact that the party in power felt very strongly that man was treated very badly. I first studied it quickly, then in detail. I went to a lot of the people standing behind me, and they felt that man was persecuted and treated very badly. That's why I gave him a pardon.
We believe that the president of Honduras was treated unfairly.
You mentioned boots on the ground earlier. Can you wrap this up? Do you see the United States military stationed in Venezuela with the United States in control?
Well, no, we're going to have a presence in Venezuela as it pertains to oil, because we have to have. We're sending our expertise in. You may need something, but not much. No, we're taking a tremendous amount of wealth from the ground, and that wealth is going to the people of Venezuela and people from outside of Venezuela that used to be in Venezuela. And it goes also to the United States of...
And we are going to send our experts. They have to be protected by the army because we are going to extract a lot of oil.
Of America as reimbursement for the damages caused to us by that country. Thank you all very much. Do you have one? Yes, you were so nice before. I'm going to give you the final question. Go. Unless it's a bad question, in which case I'll go one word.
It's about Putin, if you want to.
It's always nice to talk about Putin.
You had a phone call with him on Monday. Did he talk at all about Maduro? Did you all talk about that?
No, we didn't. We never spoke about Maduro.
Are you mad at him right now? I mean, there's this...
I'm not thrilled with Putin.
I've never talked to Putin about Maduro.
I'm not thrilled with Putin. He's killing too many people.
Putin has killed a lot of people.
I thought that would be, so I settled 8 1/4, wondering what the 1/4 was.
I only told him one word.
Thailand and Cambodia. I did it again. They broke out, and I did it in about 5 hours, and I settled it. I'm giving myself a quarter, making it 8 1/4 now. I settled the war, but it broke out again. They had a pretty bad breakout over the last 4 days. I got him to go back to peace, so I only give 1/4. I thought Russia, Ukraine would be one of the easiest. It's not, and they both have done some pretty bad things. That's Biden's war, not mine, but I want to stop the loss of life. Did you see where last?
He says, this is Joe Biden's war, not mine, but I want peace.
Last month, 30,000. This last one, it was 27,000. The month before, 30,000, mostly soldiers were killed. 30,000 last month. I want to stop it.
30,000 soldiers died last month.
You know, I got NATO to pay 5 instead of the 2 that they weren't paying. They weren't paying 2, now they pay 5. And we send them a lot of munitions, we send them a lot of things, missiles and various other things, a lot, and they pay. The United States is not losing money. We're probably making money on that. It's the last thing I care about.
He says the United States is not losing money with Ukraine. It's making money, but that's the last thing I want to think about.
I just want to stop them. We're losing 25,000, 30,000 human beings that come from 2 places that are very far away. But if I can stop, because it's something I've been pretty good at doing deals, I guess it's all a deal. Life is a big deal, but if I can stop that war and stop 30,000 young people, besides people being killed in Kiev, people are also dying in other cities. You know, a much smaller number, but they're being killed, viciously killed. So I'm not happy about it. I thought that would be something that would get solved. We have Mr. Witkoff here. I think that we're making progress. But that's a war that should have never happened. If I were president, it would have never happened. Putin says it. Everybody says it. If I were president, that would have never happened. But I inherited that war. That was Joe Biden.
He says this is the war of Joe Biden, Zelensky, and Putin. And if I had been president, this wouldn't have happened.
I came into the situation and it's a mess. And I will say this. I watched an operation last night that was so precise, that was so brilliant. I mean, it was incredible.
Watching the operation that we saw? Excellent, so precise.
Incredible. If we had our people like this general and our people involved in that war would not have gone on very long without.
If that had happened with these generals, it wouldn't have happened. If we had been there, it wouldn't have happened.
I can tell you that war, to use an old term, that war has become a bloodbath and we want it to get stopped. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, everybody. That's enough for a few shows, huh? That's enough for several shows. Donald Trump's statement. For me, there's a part that's very beautiful in this whole story. A promising future for Venezuela. But there's a part that it's clear that it hasn't worked. Donald Trump hasn't mentioned a Maria Corina and Edmundo. Are they going to be the leaders? Donald Trump said the country must be cleaned up before it can be left in the right hands. Trump is going to keep the country until he finds the right person to manage it. Let's see. Do what we're going to see now, because things have happened. We're going to watch a video. Please share your thoughts in the chat. What are you thinking right now? Where does this leave things? Maria Corina, Edmundo. What do you think about this? I have my personal opinion. Mine. I think I have my personal opinion, and now I'm going to share it. I'm going to share my opinion, and then we'll look at this. We'll see. Video first, the moment when an Igla missile is fired at a United States helicopter. Let's move on. Here we are.
Look. Look, a 2-1, look. No.
There or mine?
A missile is launched.
Video como.
And then that area is destroyed. Let's see. I'm going to give my personal opinion about this right now. Venezuela. I said it the other day. I was talking about it with someone the other day. He's my witness to what I'm saying, and it's true. I said just now, Venezuela needs an external person to manage the country. It needs a specialized team with experience to get Venezuela out of where it is. And someone who has nothing to do with Venezuela. Who doesn't have personal interests, whose team doesn't have people with suspects. We have to start from scratch. We have to reset all of this. We have to reset. When will it be reset? When there's stability. Maria Corina and Edmundo need to get involved in politics, but for now we have to handle things. A reset is necessary. The entire military leadership has to go. This idea of keeping 60 or 70% of the military leadership, please, let's be realistic. United States, let's do this. You can't do anything if there is no money and liquidity, and that liquidity is held by the United States of America. It's the United States of America that has to get my reading out of where it is. I'm going to put a comment here that I just saw in the chat. Excuse me for a second.
Not one.
Strategies. You're a genius, but please bring someone to translate. I take it well, because the translation isn't the best I could have done. I assure you it's not, but let me explain. I've been streaming for 8 hours. You could probably do it better. See? In fact, I invite you to open a channel and start translating Donald Trump. Tramin. Live, I'm sure you'll do great. Change, but I'm tired, I'm exhausted because a lot of things have happened. And I don't have people writing scripts for me, nor do they make my videos or edit them for me. I do everything myself alone, not to brag. Not trying to brag, but I work a lot. I try to do my best. I know you don't mean anything bad, but I want people to understand. I'm emotionally and physically drained. If my translation didn't meet expectations, that's okay. We can try another day. And we'll get better. Injured? Whatever can be done will improve. But I'm tired. I'm trying to do my best. I think it's clear now. Besides, it's super complicated to translate in real time at the same time. I don't have the equipment to do that. I don't have the ability right now. But there are things that I know a lot of people won't like this. There won't be a direct transition of regime collapse, Diosdado leaving, Dursi leaving, and Edmundo and Maria Corina are going to come in. They're going to arrive next week there at Simón Bolívar and land? No, it's not going to be like this. It's not going to be like this. This is going to have a serious professional nature, complete.
Later.
This will be different, but I don't think that's bad. In fact, if we're all really here for Venezuela's interest right now is to have the most powerful country in the world. Taking it by the hand. From darkness to light, Venezuela has great potential, as Donald Trump said. And the money will mostly stay in Venezuela because we will pay. We are not going to steal. We are going to pay what is fair, but the money is going to be distributed to the people of Venezuela.
Hello.
Look, Sidney Raji can translate the next one. Science. I also didn't want to keep stopping because otherwise we would have spent 5 hours here. I just physically can't do it. Besides, I'm exhausted right now. Thanks for all the super chats and memberships. This has been crazy. I don't have time to mention them all, and honestly, I don't think it's necessary. It's always the same people. The ones who support us day after day. The ones who trust all of us in what we do and what we believe in. It's been really tough. These weeks have been really tough, an incredible amount of pressure. As my brother said yesterday, this morning my brother Ariel Kanieski said, you left Israel. By your side? All of it. To focus on Venezuela? because it was necessary. And that's right. It was necessary to bring light where there wasn't any yet. All the knowledge that has been shared on this channel about military topics, military operations, objectives, reconnaissance, intelligence strategy. I remember that early on we did the program about Maduro's bunker, examined the mountain at Fuerte Tiuna, discussed where the bunker was, and covered everything. Things have happened, more will come, and all that needed to occur has occurred. All the objectives we set in Caracas were blown up last night. All the places of interest have been fulfilled. It's a job of hours, days, effort, not sleeping, not having a life, not going out, staying focused, not selling what wasn't happening, not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, it's going to happen tonight, it's going to happen. We haven't done that here, we've worked here, and here's the reward for that work. To say it clearly and with pride, everything was done as it should have been. Now the silence has to come from other places, the criticism from those who accused us of coming to profit from Venezuela. Very. Many of us who are not Venezuelan came here very mistaken to help Venezuela in every way we can. Yes, in our humble capacity to help that country grow. There's my email address, and we're willing to do it. This is a global issue, global. That country is currently 60 years behind because of a dictatorship. We all have to get them out together. This isn't just about Venezuelans. We need to come here with a lot of people with knowledge, managers, professional resource management companies, that there should be no hint of corruption. So that millions and millions of dollars can't just disappear. And that the priority is the people of Venezuela. Unfortunately, as Donald Trump has said, when we find someone capable of doing it, there will be a transition. In the meantime, we're going to make sure Venezuela becomes great again. Yes, you. Maduro. Trump said the bunker door was too heavy for Maduro to close. Maduro couldn't close it. Well, if Maduro couldn't close it, good luck to you. To me, of course, the question that comes to mind with all this is, what happened to the Cubans? How many cows have there been? Who has really sold out to Maduro? Because someone has sold him out. Nobody knows how thick the wall of the bedroom is. Nicolás Maduro, because of a radar that passes overhead. Has anyone said it? Has anyone said it? And this is the first phase. Trump said we're ready for a second, more aggressive and powerful wave. But it's clear that there will be a landing of troops. The military leadership has to be replaced. The army has to be retrained and start from scratch with equipment, with a lot of stories, a lot of investment that Venezuela will pay for with its oil money. Be careful. Once things are settled, Venezuela will have a frightening army. But yes, I know this is going to affect a lot of people who were hoping that tomorrow, or in the coming weeks, Edmundo would arrive, probably as president and so on. I don't think we're in that scenario way. I don't think we are. I also believe that a big part of the delay that has come from Donald Trump was because of this issue. What do? He has spoken with Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio has presented him with Edmundo and Maria Corina's plan, and Trump has said, okay, I'll keep it in mind. We're going to see day by day how things turn out, how things happen, how things occur. And then we'll keep giving more autonomy, little by little, little by little. There's no rush, careful, Because we're running too much right now. We're thinking about tomorrow. What about now? Can other things happen? Yes, Julio, that's true. I've never been in the military, certainly. I don't know anything about the Navy or special operations stuff. I'm a civilian. Anyone who sits here and talks about planes, weapons, ammunition, I'm making it all up. They tell me, they whisper it to me, I have dreams. Own. I see shamans at night who tell me, hey, tomorrow, are you referring to this missile or this plane? He has a confidential manual from Venezuela. Yes, Julio, it's true. I have no idea about anything. I don't have a damn clue about anything. But here we are with 16 million views a month. As a civilian with no experience, it's better they think that than know what I do. It's better to go unnoticed. That's why I don't go on camera. I'd like to stay under the radar. All right, let's continue. The hat makers are burning. Are the hat makers burning right now? They are suffering right now. Because I know, of course, they said, a modal boom, bam. Take one. Not a single plane shot down.
Ni uno.
Imagine a city like Madrid. The capital of Chile, Santiago. Imagine the capital of your country. They come in at midnight. 8 more aircraft, making a total of 150 in all. In the operation, they bomb parts of your capital and take the president and his wife away in their pajamas. How do you see it? How do you see it? How do you see it? I see it as pretty much impossible. Pretty much impossible. I think it's impossible. Can't you see? Look at what Donald Trump said. At 100 feet high, they had been waiting for the moment when the wind, the weather conditions, and the seawater were perfectly calm. To position themselves at 30 meters high, an aircraft loaded with American lives, 30 meters high to approach with the element of surprise. Look, I'm going to show you the map. Right? If I stay calm, don't worry. I don't care about the comments. I'm open to everything, all.
Ya.
After having a few battles here, I don't care about anything anymore, all. Just so you get an idea. Look at what I'm going to show you, and with this, I'll show you something. According to what Donald Trump has said. There, United States aircraft, Merit. They approached from the sea from Puerto Rico flying. To the point.
B.
Let's call it point B at the normal cruising altitude where they did the in-flight refueling, the last refueling before the mission. Possibly the Curacao area or nearby area.
Aruba.
Possibly around this area here. If the in-flight refueling operations were carried out well. From this area to the coast. Tan Estuela, do you take it at night? A helicopter at 30 meters high. To enter. In the operations area by surprise. In fact, he said it before taking the last assault step. Before entering Caracas, we made sure that no one had seen us. No one had seen us. And they were touching the water. The fish jumped as the helicopters passed by. Well, when they come in through here and get the green light, let's move forward. They hide beneath these mountains. You start hearing aircraft noises, they hit the base. Marine infantry. The Navy strikes the port of La Guaira. They make the tape so everyone is paying attention here. Who? And at the same time, the Delta team comes in. Through the middle of Caracas. Close air support while the bombs are falling. With millimeter precision. On the Ministry of Power, on the CEOFAM, on the anti-air defense site, on the communication zones. So they can land here. They land. The soldiers get off. The helicopters leave. They move to a secure position. Hidden around here. And meanwhile, the Delta team is entering the bunker, breaking down the bunker door of Nicolás Maduro. And finding him in his pajamas with his wife, trying to close the door to the safe room. Get him out of there. Call the helicopters. Land again and take Nicolás Maduro back the way they came. Heading to Liguoyima, 30 meters high. It's not just a movie, it's the movie of the year. Year. Of the year. It's the most hardcore thing we could see. In this story, tremendous is tremendous, but family. This chapter has just begun. We still have Diosdado, we still have Vladimir, we have a few left. Let's see what they decide, how far they're willing to go. By the way, Nicolás Maduro's outfit. Glasses, $7 tracksuit, $99 in ear protection, $12.
Tremendous. Nicolás Maduro will surely end up in a Liguoyima cell himself. Surely.
Family, what a day, what madness right now. Well, look at this. You don't see this anywhere. All the fanboys of Russia, China, Maduro, dictatorships, Iran. Oh my, the F-22s. The F-35s. The Hercules. There's no room for more. More? What you see there, this frame you're seeing there, and in Europe or in the world, is there no such technological capability? There's much discussion about China and Russia technologically. That's unstoppable. F-22 with F-35 is unstoppable. But be careful, because more could come. The F-15S could arrive, a second wave could start, much more deadly, as Donald Trump has said. More things could happen. More forceful things could happen. How did they get in there? There. It's tremendous. It's tremendous. Everything we're seeing, it's tremendous, tremendous right now. Nicolás Maduro out of communications. They're looking for a couple of Nicolás Maduro's followers, but we'll talk about that in another show later on. Family, I'm going to rest now. You're in good hands. I'll leave you in very good hands with my friends from Guarimba. Please give a hug to Gaston and Mar. I might stop by to say hello. And I'll see you later in the next show here on Military Strategies. Strategies much. Thank you very much, really, or for all the support you have given us and that you are giving us. Doing. To this, your community, the Military Strategies community, thank you very much, really. People, congratulations to everyone. This story has just started and we're doing well. Best regards, see you next program.